Welcome to another episode of Ruggers. Francois, this is the last rankings video we'll make for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Seriously?
Can you believe it? Now it's Craven Week and I think there's 1 or 2 matches left in KwaZulu-Natal. I know Hilton, that we're going to discuss now, is going to play Michael House this weekend. But other than that, yeah, this is the last video.
Until after the school holidays.
After the school holidays. All right, let's have a look. The question people ask me, Hilton College. They're not playing the top schools. They are unbeaten, bar the one match they lost to Boys High 15-3, I think what the score was at St. John's College. How come they still ranked this high if it's important to play schools that's ranked in your... Okay, so let's have a look. Hilton played Northwood, St. Benedict's, Welkom Gym, Boys High, St. Charles, DHS, Pretoria Boys High, Westville, Maritzburg College, Glenwood College, Kersney.
None of them are really
in
the top 10. Yeah.
In the year they lost 0.299 points because they lost against Boys High, and they lost 1 point because they played against St. Charles that was ranked a lot lower than them.
And then, yeah, so what's the answer?
So, where we discussed Noordval last week, because the guys are dropping out, luckily for Hilton, Glenwood, DHS and all those guys were busy improving their rankings. So if you plan your season very carefully,
strategically,
you can also be in the top 10 because Hilton is at number 6. And it's not only Ruggers that ranked him in the top 10. No. Everybody ranks in up the top 10.
Before the hate mail comes flowing.
Before the hate mail comes through, they earned, or there was 8 matches that counted for points.
So either it was cleverly planned,
it is cleverly
or there
planned.
is also a bit of luck involved in terms of results by other schools improving themselves.
Yes, a little bit of luck, but the KwaZulu-Natal schools are fairly represented in the top 20, in the top 30. So they start the season on number 6 and they end the season at number 6 or number 7. So they added this year 1.7 ranking points to their rankings.
Interesting. Yeah,
but is it fair?
Well, hence mathematically it makes sense. But
it does, but once again we must start asking now these questions. Is it fair for Hilton to be ranked in the top 10 if they only played one school in the top 10?
I'm still trying to get my mind around this, but it's the facts are on the paper. Yeah.
That's how it is. And yeah, carefully planned. There is some other top schools that also carefully plan their seasons, but unfortunately for them, their opponents are dropping off and they go with them. But Hilton is managing to stay in the top 10 by playing mostly top 20, top 30 schools.
Yeah. So are you letting the cat out of the bag in terms of Hilton's strategic plan, or you're giving Hilton some good advice for next season?
Yeah, but how do you prevent a school like Hilton? Like I said, it's not only Ruggers that ranked them high, most of the other websites ranked them high. How do you stop Hilton that does not play top 10 schools?
Well, if the way that you've explained it now is those opponents, if they weaken themselves on the rankings list, like
then
example,
Hilton will go with.
Otherwise, I don't see it changing.
But remember now, only one of Hilton's opponents was ranked 20 ranking points less than them, so that they can drop points.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
So yeah, let us know, how do you think we penalize Hilton for not playing the top 10 schools, but still remaining in the top 10? All right, let's have a look at the top 10. Number 1, Grey College. Number 3, Boys High.
Say number 2.
3.
No, must I say number 2?
You can say number
Paul Gym. Can I say it again? Paul Jim. Thank you. I'll say the third time. Paul Jim.
All right,
2.
cool. So,
Back at number 2. Thank you.
all right. Then 4 is Affies, 5 is Monas, 6 is Hilton, 7 is Garsfontein, 8 is Oakdale, 9 is Paulrose, 10 is Outeniqua.
Yeah.
And once again, if you read this, if Hilton played against Great College, they would have lost. Paul Gym, they would have lost. Boys High, they did lose. Affies Monas becomes a little bit doubtful, but they would still have lost against them.
With the current forms of Affies and Monas. Yeah.
Rather than sending hate mail, send me a solution to get Hilton out of the top 10, because they don't play top 10 schools, but the ranking method helps them to stay in the top 10. All right. New in the top 20. New in the top 10, nothing. New in the top 20, nobody.
No movement.
In the top 50, we've got Rustenburg coming in at 48 after the great win against Montana. And then number 47, Amadoda. You know who that is?
No.
You don't?
No.
Dale College.
Oh, there we go.
Dale College played their first game, I think 3 or 4 weeks after the bus accidents and everything they had to cancel. They had a great win against Kingswood, 13-12. That pushes them up by 10 positions. So they're at number 47. Dropping out, 54 is the Anker. They drew against Petersburg. I won't say what the Anker's people said about the referees of Petersburg, but that was a draw. And then at number 51, Middelburg dropped down 3 points after they lost to Nelspruit. The top 100, last week, Piet Retief that came into the top 100, dropped out of the top 100 after they lost to Ermelo, and therefore Northcliffe, they didn't play, moves into the top 100.
Here we go.
All right, and then the top performers. In the top 50, it basically stays the same. DHS, then Nelspruit, Queen's College, Monas, and Noordheuwel. In the top 150, Worcester Gym, DHS, Die Anker, Centraal, and Marensky. So that's the last rankings. I don't see these positions change a lot unless somebody can come up with a good reason how to drop Hilton that's not playing the top 10.
Because remember, rankings is built on from year to year. So next year we will start with the same baseline.
Yeah, but next year will be a bit different because the first 15 will start, 80% of the rankings will be of this year's ranking, and then 20% will be of the ranking of the under 16s ranking.
Interesting. Yeah.
So that might affect, I haven't checked Hilton's under 16s teams scores in that yet. We're busy with those rankings. It should be ready. I promised it about a month ago, but it should be ready before the schools restart, not affecting Hilton because I think it's only Glenwood that plays 1 or 2 matches after the school holidays. So the rest of the KwaZulu-Natal schools is closed for rugby. But that's it, short and sweet.
Short and sweet until the next term when rugby resumes and things will get interesting again on the rankings.
Great stuff. Enjoy.
Good stuff. See you. Cheers.